Alright guys, hey, this is NVanner, and today I'm going to be showing you some ranged in the Evolution of Combat beta for Runescape. So, I'm starting off here. Basically, I'm in Pernix. I have an offhand chaotic crossbow, main hand chaotic crossbow, Ava's accumulator, and with this update, they also released Pernix boots and Pernix gloves, so I'm wearing those too. Also the Fury. Now, one of the big differences I've noticed between the old Furies and especially rings and jewelry, you're gonna notice that the stats are basically gone on those, and all you're getting from those slots now is critical hit chance. So that's big change. You really won't notice it unless you have a high critical hit chance because it doesn't happen that much. But when it does, you're gonna see big numbers pop up. Actually, that 408 that just happened. So I'm fighting this guy, and right off the start, I noticed there are two really good combos. First of all, using the second number on my hotbar and the fifth number on my hotbar, you can run away and freeze them, so you can keep on doing damage. Especially if they're melee, this will keep your damage really high. Now that's pretty good, but if you look closely on my third, basically it'll put them over damage over time, but if they move, they'll get hit even harder. So the strategy for me is to use the number 3 and then run back. So here, that guy just died. I'm now gonna fight a ranger, hopefully. Oh, and okay, so here, I'll show you in this next bit how using the dash, which puts you away further, and using the damage over time that gets bigger when you move, they work really well together, and I think that that's going to be a big thing for the future. Like, basically the damage over time, basically either they're stunned because they can't attack or move, or they take the damage and they can move. So right off the start, you want to get as much adrenaline as possible, because as soon as you get those threshold abilities, you're going to be able to get a freeze on them and then lower the damage. So first thing I do is, yeah, you saw me, I did the damage over time, and he kept running and he took huge damage. He's already at half health before he's even gotten me down maybe a 10th. Insanely high damage from that. And then I think, yeah. So I'm basically going to do as much damage as I can, get my adrenaline bar up. And the ultimate abilities are really good. One of the ultimates that I'm using will deal basically 100% of their health and damage over time, but only if they don't move. So if you get a stun on them and then use that, they are in huge trouble. It's almost an easy win. So that's really good. Then I also have another ultimate, which makes me only get 25% damage for 30 seconds. So that is huge length of time. So now I'm ready to do my ultimate. Froze him, run away, and here goes the ultimate. As you can see, it's doing huge damage. He basically can't get out of that. And he's also stunned, so he's going to have trouble moving, eating, all that type of stuff. He is dead. Now, that was a good fight. I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna go for another melee here. So for melee, it's a lot different than the other two classes when you're fighting them, because the freezes are really gonna help you there. Whereas against range and magic, you're really not gonna get as much out of every freeze because they have the same range as you do generally. But you can use the damage over time quite well against rangers and majors, because they don't really seem to notice it as much, because as you run away, they'll keep attacking, but they're going to run too, and with them moving, huge damage. They're going to get hit. I think I was seeing 900s mostly. It's 200% of your normal damage, plus you get a bit added on. So I'm going to fight this guy right now. He is meleeing. We are going to see, first of all, Gonna put my prayers up, pot up, since he potted, and here we go. First thing I do, as you notice, as last time, I'm going to get as much adrenaline as possible, because I want to be able to get those ultimates, hopefully before the end of the fight, because if I don't, then I just lose all my adrenaline. Stuns are always good, as I said, and even if they don't move, the damage over time will drastically increase your damage. So it's always good to keep using that, even if you know they're not going to move. Its cooldown time isn't that long. I'll be able to use it probably before most fights end. So that's going to be big. I'm not quite sure how stuns and like, especially my ultimate ability that does tons of damage if they don't move. Kind of skeptical as of how that's going to work in no movement duels. I assume they'd take it off because it would be insanely overpowered. You couldn't beat Unleash, or what's it called? Unleash, I think. You can't beat that unless you can move. There's just no way. It does 100% of your damage, so if there's no food and no movement, they lose. So that is definitely going to be weird. Right now it works in no movement duels, but I'm going to guess they're going to patch that up before it goes live in September. I'm going to go with a range fight to end this off. Probably somewhere around my combat level. Good fight here. Oh, okay. So, as I was saying, for rangers earlier, the stuns are not going to be as useful. He's going to have the same range as I am, and it's just not going to help me that much. So, I think the strategy here is going to be that I need to get the damage over time going and then run away. Now this guy's a really low level. I don't know why I fought him. It's going to be pretty easy, I think. As usual, start off with my adrenaline abilities. Get a little bit of damage in there. And here I put a little freeze on him. The freeze won't really help me, so I didn't even bother moving, but it does do pretty good damage, so it's definitely worth using, even if you aren't gonna utilize the freeze. So once he's out of freeze, I end up using the freeze again, because when you use it twice in a row, you get stun damage for 300% damage, which is really, for a cheap ability like the freeze, it's really good damage. It's a basic ability, and you get 300% damage out of it. That's easily 1,000. So that was a really easy fight. I think I'm gonna go against a ranger who's more my level this time. So I'll actually have time to use the damage over time and the other fun little abilities here. And there is my guy. Okay. So I think I'm gonna start this one off by getting adrenaline as usual. Get that first hit is always nice. So, using my first ability, which is just a little bit of damage, doesn't really do that much, but it helps me gain adrenaline. Now, we're both using chaotic crossbows. He's trying to stun lock me and run back and forth, but I don't think that's going to be that effective, because with this new combat, I've noticed that you have to take time. There's more of an animation for attacking, and if you don't do that, you're not going to get the attack. So, as you can see, I used the damage over time, and that was pretty effective. Now, I was surprised that his Vengeance ended up working on a damage over time attack, because that's kind of weird. I feel like damage over time really shouldn't be able to be venged. I'm hoping they'll fix that before it goes live in September. This is a pretty close fight. For Rangers, as I said, you have to make sure that you use your damage over time and get the stun damage bonus. You don't actually need it to stun them, but that'll help you a lot. So it's pretty close. He uses dash, and eventually I win. That was pretty lucky. I think I could have done better. I didn't use my dash enough. Well, thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos on Runescape, check in on our channel. I'm going to be uploading a few more, probably today. Also, visit BackendGaming for gaming news, not just RuneScape, but all other games, Diablo, Skyrim, first-person shooters, stuff like that. Thank you.